And the last, and I'd say that's around, a lot of people have that element to them. A lot of people are lazy. That's about 50% of people. But the main reason people are not rich is because they are arrogant. If you were to take somebody who says, I'm doing my best, I'm really trying, and you were to get an exact schedule of their last week and find all the times they've wasted time, you'd say, look, you've wasted time, wasted time, wasted time, wasted time. You know what's actually amazing? Most of those people are not even self-reflective enough to go, you're right, I'm not trying my best. You know what they'd say? Well, I have to rest sometimes. Well, I have to have a social life. Well, they'd be so arrogant because they're arrogant.
I had to do my Facebook.
Yeah. No matter, you'd even show them, here's where you fucked up. Well, you know, I have to, oh, you're crazy. And then they go back to being a loser.
The woman that you had, is she going to be proud and be able to sit there and actually cry real sobs of sorrow?
Yeah.
Because he passed away, or is she going to cry tears of joy because you're a fucking loser and she's going to get a better guy?
And this is also not an excuse for a young man to put it off until his 30s.
That's true.
Because your hard work and your dedication and your grit and all that shit, that is not a guaranteed path to success. Many people have given their heart to their business and failed, flat out fucking failed. They did everything right. They went to bed, they didn't party, they studied, they did everything, and they still fucking lost. So if you're young, you might need to do that enough times. And in fact, in a lot of ways, I feel like I experienced this.
Yeah.
I banged my head against this fucking business again and again and again and again and again and again and never got what I was really looking for.
The worse things are, the harder I will work. Jail changed me and I had some trouble in there. I never missed a single day's training. Since I've left jail, I can't sleep. I have nightmares. I've been training harder than I've ever trained. I put it all over Twitter. I'm doing 6-7 hour days. I could sit around and complain about being tired. I could sit around and be a bitch. I could sit around and cry. Or I could just work harder than I've ever worked. It's fantastic that I can't sleep. It's all the time I need. So I can train endlessly. So my point is the answer is always hard work. Change it, make it my own. The sinews of war are unlimited finance. If you have enough money, you will win. I, as a person, am sitting there saying, okay, if we want to have a serious movement, if we want to seriously make people stand up and see the truth, we need to make sure that people who see the truth have money. You can't have people stand up and talk the truth if every time they talk the truth, they end up bankrupt. Because then you're going to all starve and we're all going to die. You need money.
If you're trying to be comfortable, you're not going to put yourself through the pain of studying and understanding and the pain of doing so you don't become competent. If you don't become competent, then you have to face fear in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I needed to estimate a metal building project and the building was 100,000 square feet. If I had not gone through the pain of doing 5,000 square foot, 10,000, bam, 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 now I can just take a phone call and be like, okay, what's the size of the building? Take me through the spreadsheet. I can see that spreadsheet in my mind. I built it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I can see every row when they're telling me, like, the different attributes, this kind of panel, this kind of walls, got a weld over here, this kind of roof, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, how much? And did you put this in there? Did you account this? Okay, cool, send out the bid. That bid might be 700, 800 grand.
Yeah.
Just one project, boom. I might make 200-300 grand. I took a phone call.
Yeah.
I'm not scared because I went through all the pain. I got away from comfort.
Yep.
That comfort builds competence.
Yep.
And when you have competence, what other people would look at as fear, I look at as fucking money.
It's about disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It's about doing the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but that you know will help you. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right.
If you don't know where you're going in life and you don't have a direction, sit down, close your eyes, imagine that you're dead and gone, and think about the overall story of how they would talk about you at your funeral with your loved ones in the room and you laying there in that casket. It's a very powerful exercise. I advise all young men to do it. It will really help get your perspective of your life, where you're going, what you're currently doing in line, and kind of put a foot in your ass, because it's a dark thing to do, but I think it's a very healthy thing for any man to do and to revisit.
It's like the Red Army at the beginning when the Nazis attacked and they sent all their men without guns to just get blown up. Or clear the minefields. Go clear the minefields because we don't have enough guns for everyone, so you can just go walk over mines. That's all you are. If you want to be special forces, you need to have a gun and a helmet and some training. You need money. You need friends. You need influence. You need to be good. You need to know how to speak. You need to know things. If you don't have any money and you don't have any network, you are useless to this resistance. Why sit there and go, everything Andrew says is true, and not be trying to make money in a matrix-free environment with the real world? You're useless otherwise. I buy my Bugatti for you. I'm showing you how fantastic the world could be, and my 3 Kernans, eh?
Discipline, it does start with waking up early. It really does. But that is just the beginning. Discipline is the root of all good qualities. But you have to absolutely apply it to things outside of just waking up early. It's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier.
So when people say if you tried your best, it's okay to lose, that is a logic fail. Because if you lost, you didn't try your best in the first place. If you actually try your best, it is impossible to fail in this life. God is watching and he rewards those who want it the most. If you want it the most, you can have it. It's a competition. Every dollar you want, the house you want, the car you want, other people want, you have to win. You have to want it the most and genuinely do your best, because most people aren't capable of doing their best anymore. I train every single day, and it doesn't matter how I feel. So, in fact, I would actually argue that the number one way to deal with most of life's problems is always the same thing. You were saying that people deal with things in many different ways. That is true. But in my experience of life, there's only one way to deal with anything. It doesn't matter if you're heartbroken. It doesn't matter if you're sad. It doesn't matter if your bank balance is low. Doesn't matter if you lose a family member. Doesn't matter what it is. The answer to everything is always the same. Hard work. Work harder. A lazy person thinks he's working too hard, and a successful person thinks he isn't working hard enough. And we're doing 20 times the work they are. And we're like, oh, I could have done more. Could have done this. Oh, I missed that today. Can't miss that again. Oh, I should have taken that call. I should have flown there. I should have. That's, you know, we have guilt about it. They don't give a solitary fuck. And even if you pointed it out to them, they'd sit there and go, oh yeah, and they'd make some excuse for it. It's the brutal arrogance of people.
Stop doing the things that you know are wrong that you could stop doing. Right? So it's a fairly limited attempt. First of all, we're not going to say that you know what the good is or what the truth is in any ultimate sense. But we will presume that there are things that you're doing that for one reason or another you know are not in your best interests. There's something about them that you just know you should stop. They're kind of self-evident to you. Other things you're going to be doubtful about. You're not going to know which way is up and which way is down.
Everybody always says, if you tried your best, that's all that matters. The best is all you can do. If you tried your best, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if you lose if you tried your best. Most people have heard that before. But there is a secret to the universe that most don't know. If you actually try your best, you can't lose. Because you can't delay gratification. You can't do anything which is particularly difficult. And the only thing that's going to make you happy quick is cheap happiness. Cheap and easy. Booze, cake, drugs, dumb shit. Real happiness, real contentment, and pride takes a long time to build. You have to be able to be unhappy to have a greater reward at the end. Not pretend to try your best. Not try your best 90% of the time. Not try your best with excuses. If you genuinely try your best all of the time, all day, every day, it's impossible to lose. That is what a man does, and you must prepare and set up your life for that. You must be prepared to be plucked from life and understand that everybody around you who once relied on you will still be relying on you even when you sit in that jail cell. It's still up to you. You are still the man of the household. Only you. And if you don't pay the bills, who's going to do it? Your wife's just going to what? Go get a job, get like 5 jobs and raise your kids? How's she going to do that? You must be prepared for these things. That is what you're working for. So if you wake up every day as a man and you say, I don't have motivation to become strong. I don't want to work hard and get rich. I don't want to try and become financially free. What you're saying is that the second you disappear, everyone who loves you and respected you and relied on you is going to starve.
There's one thing that's guaranteed in life, and that's death. And the thing you guys got to understand is that on your tombstone, it's going to have your birthday followed by your death day. And what you're defined by is a dash in between. What did you do during that fucking dash? Right. And I don't think enough guys take that seriously. During that dash, did you create a legacy or did you embarrass the legacy? Did you make the people around you better or did you be a detriment to society? Are people proud to carry your last name? Is your son going to be able to walk into a room and people are going to respect him off of your accomplishments? Or that he's going to be embarrassed, he's going to have to change his last name because of your failures? Right.
Very few people are willing to do that. Very few people are willing to take that critical moment to look at their own behavior and look at their own thought process and wonder if the actual adverse reaction they have to this person's message is because they know that they're wrong.
Now, as I decipher the puzzle, because that's what life is, it's a puzzle, and as I decipher the lesson that has been bestowed upon me by God, and as I repair my mentality and become a more content individual, or perhaps a more stable individual like I was before, at least in the meantime, I've done a whole bunch of work. At least I've gotten bigger, stronger, faster, richer. What else am I going to do, sit around and mope like a dummy? The answer is always hard work. Anyone who's watching this, no matter what problem you're facing in your life, there's only one answer: work. Work harder.